Hidden gems breaking all the bars. Yo, the crowd's feeling it, energy's alive. Spotlight on the tales where the future arrives. Bass in the air, every story's a spark. Late night on bass, we're lighting the dark. Bass night stories on the stage, we vibe. Talk show magic where the chain comes alive. Tokens in the flow, let the legends provide. Late night on bass, we're taking it worldwide.
Welcome, everybody, to another edition of Late Night on Bass. I am your friend, your host, your confidant, the man with a mic, the man with a little stubble going on. His name is Bill the Bull, back at it today, Tuesdays. The road to Onchain Summit continues. I forget. I better put this banner up, otherwise I get fired. I don't want to get fired, Onchain Summit team. This show is brought to you by Onchain Summit 2025, probably the number one conference for bass, meme coins, and projects in the Howard, San Francisco. August 22nd, a lot of the bass team will be there. Jesse will be there, probably Chintan, a bunch of them. They were there last year. It was a lot of fun. The people at the On-Chain Summit crew, Kevin and company, know how to cook, as they say. They know how to cook and make a good project conference. Anyways, super excited for that one. Get your tickets today. It's on Dimes. I think you got to go to like payondimes.com. So give it a second. We're going to get the room a little bit populated. Today we have a dope show. And we're stoked, man. We have Chuck, the Chad, capital CHAD, from Remix, formerly known as Farcade. I, too, was wondering, why did they switch? We will find out. I don't know. But I'm glad to know that Chuck is still cooking. Not only is he cooking, he was one of the key speakers at the base event, TBA, or the day one event, where over 1.5 million streamed. And it was really cool. There's about 200 in attendance. It was very intimate. It was a nice venue. And he crushed it. And so the future is looking bright at Remix. If you actually know, if you're on the Bass app, Remix is actually like the first app you see. Don't know how much you paid them to do that, but or maybe not. It's because he has a dope project. So we're looking forward to that. And then we have the ladies from GM Farcaster. Excited for them. And yeah, we're going to have a good time chatting with them all about, what's going on with what they're doing. I like the fact that they're in the media business as well. So excited to see that and chat about, they've been consistent with what they've been doing. So let's so before we bring out Chuck, we're gonna just chat the markets a little bit because we're all degens here and the markets are looking really, really good. Let's see. First of all, if you guys are watching it, please share it to your people so we can get some numbers. My goal is at least 1,000 a show. And if not, like I say, my mom will be very disappointed in me, and I don't want that to happen. No. All right, so taking a look at the market. So for right now, all eyes are on the biggest coins of the day. The majors drive the market. So let's see. Let's go to the majors. No, not this one. Let's go to all right. Getting at this one right here. It starts with, the majors. Everything starts with BTC. BTC is at 119. BTC looks really good. It goes simply majors. No, it goes Bitcoin to majors, to mid-majors, and then to your filthy, filthy, dirty coins that we all love and admire. So basically what we're seeing with Bitcoin, it's just ranging really, really nicely up into this 115. It dropped 116 at 119. The moment this breaks out, you get the next run. You get the next run up. And it's going to be very, very nice. It's going to be very, very nice. And let's just see. It broke out. So this thing should go. The measure move of this thing is pretty high, I think. It's what? 6%. It's about 126,707. 126,707, which would be incredible because the money will flow into your Ethereums, into your other alts. So it's the Bitcoin show for now, but make no mistake, the moment that these things break, then your alts are going to go parabolic. And we all are in the trenches and we all care about one thing and one thing only. And that, my friend, is our base memes. 1 second. Let me just make sure. All right. So let's see. Let's see. Sorry, we're getting technical difficulty. Actually, no. You know what happens is when you're on stream, you get messages by your wife. You better answer that. Because if you don't, well, damn. Let's go. The Nounish Professor reposted the stream. I appreciate you. Excited to have them on as well. Okay. 1 second. All right. So appreciate that. Anyways, back to what I'm saying. Let's go. Okay. So base, like I said, Bitcoin runs the show. You want that to do well. So then if you look at kind of like the last, I just have a few coins in here. And if you look at, the last 24 hours or, everything's kind of done, but you're in a run when things like Zora are going from 25 million to over 87, 89 million in about a week. And that's a major jump. And, with Zora's dominating the mind share when it comes to the base app. And if you haven't downloaded the base app, I highly recommend trying to get a code and making sure you have the ability to get access. Because yeah, so basically the base app is allowing people to have creative economic freedom to content, or basically every post you make is a coin. So people can now purchase your coin in a way of tipping, in a way of making the creator money that you wouldn't be getting anywhere else. And so Zora is the catalyst of allowing that all to happen. So I'm very, very bullish on Zora. And the fact that you see a chart like this just makes it even more clear to me that everything is heading in the direction of base. And everything is heading in the direction of the base wallet. So take a look at that. Make sure to see, if you don't have positions in the plays that you want, you really need to. So make sure to do that. But anyways, we can talk about charts all day we want. We can do a lot of things, but you know what? I don't want to. You know why? Because I want to talk to one person. And I want to talk to one person only at the moment. And his name is Chuck from Remix. My friend, how are we doing today?
Good. How you doing, man? It's awesome to be back here.
Man, I feel like I'm in front of a celebrity. Chuck the celebrity, man. I for those that don't know, we had a Farcade at the time they were called. Literally, I reached out to them maybe 2 days after I saw some crazy stat of how many numbers had. I just blatantly reached out. I'm like, I want you on the pod. And we chatted up. And to see you just now from there to now, it just like grows so much. I'm like, I'm fascinated, man. So kudos to you, dude.
Thanks, dude. Yeah, it's been it's been a very wild ride. The 6 months has been some of the most fun and exciting of my career. So it's been really wild, and it's funny just how quickly you and I connected on Farcaster. I think it was literally like 48 hours after launching the product originally, when it was called the Farcade. So it's cool to see. I'm happy we're still around.
Yeah, man. I mean, and you never know in Web3. Basically, if you've been around 6 months, it's basically the equivalent of 5 years in the traditional world. So a lot of things lose interest a lot quicker. So it's always hard to catch mindshare, but when you do, it's like a unicorn. But Chuck, if you don't mind, there might be people tuning in who has never heard of Farcade Remix. So if you don't mind, talk to us. What is Remix?
Yeah, Remix is like the TLDR of it is like the social network for games, or the TikTok for gaming, where the gamers are also the creators, where all the games are created using our AI game studio. So anybody can create games just using prompts, just using vibes, just building what they want. So we had this idea, a little over a year ago, or almost right around a year ago now, was trying to make this I would say like a more modern like mini clip, or this version of being able to play a bunch of games with your friends online, and especially leaning into like the mini app ecosystem with Telegram and Farcaster. And we just got really into the AI stuff, and we just really felt like AI was actually going to be the way that everybody was going to become a game developer. And so we had these ideas around trying to build more of a social network around games as opposed to just text and videos and images.
Now, and so one of the cool things about what you guys did was originally, yeah, as you said, you can log in through Telegram to play in Farcaster. And this was kind of before mini apps were even a thing, before the base wallet everyone existed. Or maybe, I don't know. Anyways, but you had this idea of, in order to get to the access to the users, you need to go through Telegram or Farcaster. At what point did you realize, like, how did you guys think of that? Like, was this just something that you just thought was a natural evolution of gaming, I guess?
Yeah, sorry, my dog is barking, so I really hope that's not coming in too
no
loud.
worries.
I'll cover this up. He's so loud. It's actually my sister's dog. He's 160 pounds. He's massive. He looks like a big bear. Is that pretty loud?
Nah, dude, don't worry about it,
Okay.
man. I have two dogs. One of them is deaf, and you should hear her screech. And it's, I feel you, bro. Don't worry.
Yeah. So sorry. What was your question?
No, I was just saying, like, you were on a path of knowing, the way to access people, gamers, or just in general, people who want to use things is through different metrics, not like a typical desktop website. You started with Telegram, you started with Farcaster, avoided the desktop basically, but this was before even base apps were a thing. How did you know, or at like what point in your lifespan did you realize, like, hey, this is where things are going? Like, talk to us about your thinking behind taking a path at that time that was not traditional.
Yeah. So it was it felt like, when you're starting off, you just, the longer I've been a builder, the more I've known that it's just distribution is everything, and finding ways to hack your first initial distribution is so important. And so with the mini apps, it just felt like this tailwind that was forming. We saw it with Telegram. We saw like some of these games blow up to be like the fastest growing games of all time. And then we saw, Farcaster, we saw Frames. I was really excited when they announced Frames V2 and more of this like mini app stuff, because it added a lot more it added a lot more variability, or like the ability to build gaming, which was so hard to do. It was so hard to build games around, like, the first versions of V1, like V1 Frames, and then we got tapped into WorldCoin. God, now people are calling me. This is a mess.
That's okay. It's all good.
All the notifications. Is my mic still working?
Yeah.
Bill, can you still hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you. Can you hear me?
Oh, I cannot hear you.
Oh,
Great.
technical
1
difficulties.
second. Okay, my bad.
Can you hear me?
Can you hear me, Bill?
I can hear you. Can you hear me?
God, what is happening?
Maybe just log back in.
Give me 1 second. I'm just gonna rejoin the stream.
For sure. You gotta love streams. You never know when you're gonna get a dog behind you, on camera. You don't know when your mic's gonna go off. You just never know. But yeah, honestly, with Chuck, I meet a lot of people. And the nowness, you're right. Chuck does got that dog in him. Literally, he's got that dog right behind him. Okay, he's back. Can you hear me, my friend?
Yeah, so sorry.
Look at that. You got that dog in him.
Seriously. Okay. He should be good now. There's people at the front door. So I think he's chill. But basically, like, it's so important to find those initial users, and it's super, super hard. And that's why I got really excited by the mini apps with just the ability to get discovered without having a ton of users or a ton of traction, and being able to build something that's viral, which was really cool on Farcaster. So I thought that's why we leaned into mini apps at the start. Was it just is an amazing way to get in front of people, and it is very reminiscent of like Zynga and Farmville and Facebook about 10 years ago, which was like that game blew up purely because it's built on top of Facebook, and it made it super easy to share and connect your social graph. And so that's what we really liked about mini apps, was it just felt like we got a leapfrog a lot of like those early steps of trying to jumpstart a network or a product. And now we feel like we're growing out of that into like we'll have like our own mobile app and stuff coming soon, but we'll still be using mini apps for forever because they're just amazing funnels. They're great user experiences for trying games and sharing games with your friends. And so we just really love mini apps, and we think they're just going to be like a part of the future set of a lot of products. Like I think everybody's going to have like their mini app strategy, similar to having like a TikTok strategy or an Instagram strategy. Like you're going to have like this like mini app strategy for like, how do we attract people through these like mini app experiences?
Yeah, no, I think, it was interesting to see kind of like your evolution. And like for me, for instance, never really understood the appeal of mini apps, to be honest. Up until I didn't really grasp the ideal until the day one event, and everything clicked after I heard Gary V talk about, now we're in a tipping economy and stuff. And I just realized, and then you see the base app and you just see, Farcaster is great in having the mini app, but being integrated with base wallet, I think takes it to the next level. And the reason now is you can search things. You can go to the different like sections you want. The mini apps will be front and center. You can see the top 10. It's like truly like the app store. And if you go to the game section, you're up there. And then I see like news, and then with news, and we have, the ladies from GM Farcaster who I'm excited to talk to, because I think what they're doing, they're in the news section. One of their apps is up there. And I think that's phenomenal. Great idea. And I actually might want to do something like that myself. But it's just a way of distribution, as you were saying, Chuck. Being able to get discovered is what the name of the game is. Not everyone has the ability to, have access to like KOLs or huge marketing budgets. But if you have a mini app that people are playing, it can get discovered by millions of people. And that can only be done through a mini app and not through a desktop. Would you agree?
Yeah, 100% agree. And I think it's been a learning lesson with the Farcade and now Remix, which was, we went a little, I think, to like appception. Like it's kind of a full app within an app. And I don't know if that's like really the best way to use mini apps at the end of the day. I think it ended up being like, we have a ton of users who will go to Warpcast and then open our mini app and then go find the one game they want to play. And that's not really a good experience for like trying to find something you want to do. It's much better for condensed, isolated experiences. And so you can think of like e-commerce checkout, or I think just playing a standalone version of one of our games, where if like you saw GeoCrush and you just wanted to play it really quick in the feed, you can just one tap and play it. Or if you want to buy and mint something or swap something. So I think that's more of where we're going to go with mini apps, is try to make them more bite-sized entertainment or bite-sized experiences, as opposed to Remix right now being almost a full app within an app, which I don't think is the best use case for mini apps, but I think they're really great at that initial hook into your product and attracting people.
Okay, so with that pivot, let's talk more about Remix, and let's talk about Farcaster. We're going to do a live demo as well, because not only is this episode brought to you by Onchain Summit, my Tuesday show, but also Base Green led us for a series on the Farcaster, top Farcaster mini apps and devs. And you are my 10th in a series of hopefully 30. They greenlit me for 10, or they greenlit me for 30. Well, actually, no, they greenlit me for 10 out of 30. So I got to bring the A game. So Chuck, please make me look good, bro. Make me look good. Let's end on a good note. No, but seriously. So let's talk. All right. So you started at the Farcade, then you renamed out of nowhere, what I saw, to Remix. Talk to us. What was the reasoning behind the transition and name change to Remix?
Yeah, it was a lot of things. So I wrote a post about this where I felt like Farcade really started as, what I said, it was like a love language, or like a love letter to gaming and hyper casual mobile games, and like just kind of this thing that I was really excited about. And it really was also going to be a much more of a Farcaster oriented product. Like the original idea was to be only on Farcaster, just to be mini games, and actually there was going to be a big trading component on top of it, where every game was going to be a coin with a market cap that was trading. And so that's how the Farcade started. And we really quickly learned with like the traction and how fast we blew up that like the Farcade was probably going to be something much bigger than what we originally thought it had the potential to be. And it was one experience I had was my brother, who's my co-founder. We've always tried to get our family to try every app we've built, and then but they, they'll humor us, they'll try the app and then never use it again. And then we showed everybody the Farcade, and they are all hooked. My mom is on like a 200-day streak right now. I didn't even know this. I just literally went home one day and she didn't say hi to me, and I was like, that's weird. And then she was sucked into her phone, and I went and looked at her phone, and she was playing some Farcade games. And so that was this really cool moment for me where I felt like we were building something that had more upside than we were giving it credit for. And so Farcade, I think, for a lot of reasons, I think there's a lot of, I think, like arcade spin-offs of names. There's Metacade, there's Onchain, there's, every type of cade you can think of. And for us, we really wanted a brand that represented something that felt a little bit bigger, more of like, this is not just the future of mini games. This is like the future of like a gaming social network. Like, this is like something that we want to be on every single person's, home screen on their smartphones. Like, this is something that I want every kid in high schools to be playing, like at the lunchroom, like sharing their games and playing their games together. So it's I think a lot of it just became that, where we just felt like the product outgrew the name, and we wanted a name that reflected not only something that felt like they could be bigger, but also reflected more of like what we thought was going to be like core features in the app, which is remixing. And remixing is the concept of taking an existing game and using a prompt to turn it into something new. And so we think that's going to be a huge feature of the product going forward. So we love that it leaned a little bit more into the feature set of what's going to be on the platform.
Yeah, I mean, sometimes the product grows bigger than what someone can imagine. And in the case of you guys, it's definitely gone that. Actually, one of the cool things about Remix, it's really cool to see like a non-gaming developer take an idea and vibe code it or whatever and create something super playable. And I've actually haven't done this. I've attempted to vibe code, but my co-founder, another Base Media host, his name is Base Junkie. He created a game on Remix, and it has over 100,000 plays. And it was so cool to see that, like,
Yeah.
a novice, someone has literally no idea how to develop a game, take something with an idea, work with the AI tools or whatever's out there, put a game on Remix, graduate. I think there's some graduation level, like you put it on there, it has to get a certain amount of plays to graduate, and then get being featured. And it was super cool to see. And I think that you're tapping into now what used to be a market that was only for gaming developers to now literally anybody can do that. Have you heard a lot of success stories like that from people who have just like been awed at like what they've created?
Yeah, I think it's almost all of our developers so far. We launched with like a handful of games that we all built, but other than that, once we launched the game studio in March, the entirety of people who are building the games, like these are two of our featured builders inside the sim and Volks, they don't know how to write software or code. Like, they built all of this using AI and prompting, and they've built some of our coolest games. And the amount of DMs I've gotten from people that are they range from, I had no idea this is possible, this is so awesome, to I can't believe even 10 people tried this game. I've never even built a game before or written code, and now they have a game that's been played by tens, if not hundreds, if not thousands of people. It is just such a cool experience. And I remember this a lot from when I was like first learning to write code, which was like how cool I felt it was just to have like a red square show up on the screen. And now people are making full-on games that are enjoyed by thousands, if not hundreds of thousands of people. And so, yeah, we get a ton of that. I had one of my friends message me a really cool note where him and his daughter built a game together, and he was like, it was one of the best bonding experiences they had in a long
That's
time.
amazing.
So that was a really cool moment. So yeah, it's felt very good because it's something that I think we really just want to lean into, and it feels very good to get those notes and just to hear how much people are enjoying it. And it's just something that we're taking a big bet on as a company, that there's a lot more of those people out there.
Well, I will say, first of all, your black hole game, which I've been playing live, it's very, very addicting. Like straight up, it's just like you created a million plays, and it's just like you spin this circle, and you just got to hit this planet. It's actually legitimately hard.
Yeah.
Like
Well,
I'm
there's
like I don't know why it's down there, but whatever. It's just a kind of it's addicting. It's just fun, but like I don't know, man. You cooked with that one. I
it's
definitely have played it. Which one's your favorite out of all these ones? And you can honestly say if it's your own black hole. And I'm sure you built other ones like Geo Wars, but which is your favorite game currently on Remix?
currently it's been fun. And something that I really love about Remix is I feel like I find new favorites like every day. Like it's been something so cool about the product where, you know, Geo Crush and Black Hole were obviously like my favorites. And then I released Nightmare Blocks, which was actually our very first remix ever. And it's still our only current remix because we haven't unlocked that feature yet. But Nightmare Blocks is a remix of Tower Blocks, where basically I just said, make this game scary like a Halloween version and make everything a lot harder was essentially the prompt, and that's kind of the game that got made. I mean, one of the new games that came out when we did the base event last week is called Base Poker Quest. That one is awesome. I think that game has a ton of potential and it's gonna be really, really addicting. And then Climb or Die is one of my favorites right now. I play that game a lot.
There's always something for everybody. So, Chuck, before we end things, I do want to go through the base app as well. And I kind of want to see the similarities, or I guess I want to see your thoughts to how you view this mini app versus the desktop experience, because they're two different things. So let's look at this. So for those that don't know, you can like find Remix. You can type it in. If you don't have it saved, you go onto your page, you type in Remix. It's there. You can save it as to one of your mini apps. You click it. And you can also do this obviously on the base wallet. You sign in. I should be able to sign in somehow.
That's interesting.
Ooh, your Dev, what's up? Dev, you got to give him a call. Be like, yo, Dev. It's not
I think that's actually the old remix. That's the old mini app. They had this weird issue where there was two of them.
Interesting.
Because that's not. There's actually. So go to that and tap that play now button. That play now link. Yeah.
Oh, I got to update this. Okay.
Maybe. Okay, I'll look into that.
Hey, listen.
I've never seen that before.
Listen, we diagnose bugs here on the show.
Yeah.
But let me ask you this, okay? And by the way, I know you brought in Sam Stefani. What is his last name?
Stefanina. Yeah.
Yeah, and he's definitely doing a great job just by his posts. I'm sure he's been an asset for your team. He seems very much glued to how to help marketing as well. But let me ask you this, so Chuck, before we leave it, how do you view mini apps? I know you said it's a distribution vehicle to bring people to the brand, but you also have your desktop. So how do you navigate the mini app in the desktop so you don't take users away from each other? Are you using the mini app as a funnel to get to the desktop as your ultimate destination, or are you just treating them as two different verticals? What's your thought process on the two?
The cool part about what we're building is it's all just like one network. Like everybody benefits from everybody else. And so let's say, for example, Bill, that you wanted to create a game and like you just play Remix on Farcaster. That's all you know. And you're like, oh, I want to go make a game. And so you go made a game, and then maybe your game went viral on World app or Telegram or the base app. And now all of a sudden you had all these players and all these people playing your game on networks you didn't even know we were on. And that's an amazing feeling. And when we launch monetization, you'll potentially be making a lot of money from all these people on different apps. And so that's what I get excited about is every player gets to play where they want to play. They all get connected together to play games together. So they all kind of are fueling the same network. No one's like taken away from anyone else's experience. Everybody gets to play and have the experience that they want to have. And so that's a really, I just think a really cool part about the Remix and with these mini apps is being able to actually connect people in disparate platforms, and they can now play together. So again, I could be playing you or challenging you to a game of Climb or Die, and I could be on Telegram and you can be on Farcaster, and it all feels the same. So that's how we think about it, is like it's just another like branch on our tree, but like it's none of them take away from the other one. They all get to share the same trunk.
Incredible. Chuck, before we leave us with some alpha. Bill loves alpha. Helps me feel important. What alpha do we have to share with the late night on base viewers? It literally, you can make it up if you want. It doesn't really matter. But any alpha from Remix?
We have a very big game jam getting announced potentially today or tomorrow. Just checking to see if our Twitter, if it's actually been announced yet. So we have a really cool game jam coming up, which with one of the biggest, if not the biggest brand in our space. And we actually we're in talks with a couple of the biggest IPs in the world to try to bring their IPs onto Remix so anyone can create those games. So those are some little alpha and some tidbits of things coming. But on the roadmap, we have monetization for builders and a standalone mobile app. Those things are in the works and hopefully coming soon. But that's the alpha is the other stuff.
That's just a mic drop moment. Actually, GM Farcaster ladies, I'm sorry, we have to end the stream now. But by the way, the ladies are Danish Professor was saying that she's wearing her Farcade shirt.
Yeah, I love it. That's awesome. I was wearing it yesterday. That's such a great shirt, and I'm happy you're still enjoying it. I think those things are going to be just iconic as we continue to grow, because it's just going to be a throwback to a time that we all really loved. And so it definitely was bittersweet rebranding. I think a lot of the team really loved the branding and that name, but just on to something new.
Chuck, appreciate you, man. Thanks for coming on.
Thanks, Bill. Thanks for having me, man.
Always a pleasure. Chuck from Remix. It's tough for me to say Remix over Farcade. I love the name of Farcade, but I get it. The show must go on. We must evolve to greater and better things. Truly happy for the guy, man. It's always great to see. Like, I literally 2 days after he launched, I was just like, this is dope. Let me get him on. And now he's blown up. Feels like I met a celebrity. But anyways, Chuck, great guy. But now I'm happy to bring up two ladies who haven't really gotten to know well, but I'm excited to know what they're doing because, I love talking to other media people, and what they're doing with Farcaster, it's really impressive. They just had Jesse on. Ladies, how are we doing from GM Farcaster? How you guys doing?
GM. Got my Farcade shirt on.
I'm jealous.
You know, gotta rock it. Since I knew Chuck was going to be here, had to do it.
Not a base hat.
And a base hat. We got a base hat. We got a Farcade shirt. We got a GM necklace. We are ready to go.
Adrian, where's your merch?
I'm rocking the Farcaster OG NFT as my background.
There you go. Now I feel left out. Chuck, hook me up with something. It could be a pencil. Come on, man. Thank you. But ladies,
I love this shirt. I love this shirt so much, Chuck. And I loved the name Farcade. I understand you have to go on to bigger and better things, but it will always be Farcade in my heart. There you go. Love it.
Same with me. It was tough for the name change. But ladies, first of all, thank you for coming on the show. And I just want to say, you guys are crushing it. I mean, I feel like, I know how hard it is to build a media, and I want to talk all about, your guys' start, your focus on Farcaster specifically, how you guys started your show and everything of that nature. But I know how hard it is to start a media kind of show and be consistent. You guys have done that. So I just want to say kudos off the start.
Same to you though, too. It is really hard to keep consistent. So when you keep going day after day, kudos to everybody out here who's continuing to rock. So and thanks for having us on. We appreciate it.
Absolutely.
And Bill, you cover the late night. We've got the GM.
There you go.
Good combo.
Mornings, exactly. Right now, it's technically in America. It's not really the mornings.
Yeah,
but
it's only
somewhere
like
in the
4
world,
o'clock. It's like early bird late night. We're gonna go for our early bird specials right after.
I mean, I should really change my name to Lunchtime with Bill the Bull, because I typically do my shows at noon PST, but late night just has a better ring to it.
It does. Definitely. We like it.
Be careful. All the late night shows are in trouble. So I think it's a good opportunity. You got a wedge.
They really are. I'm coming for them.
People are going to need something to watch.
So ladies, for those new to GM Farcaster, why don't you guys explain exactly what is the premise of GM Farcaster and what is your mission on growing the brand of base and who you bring on to your show? Talk to us a little about GM Farcaster.
So we started in September of 2023. So we're coming up on 2 years. And the idea was just, there was a lot happening on Farcaster. I mean, I say a lot, and there really wasn't, looking back compared to what it is now. but there was like, I just wanted to talk about it. Like I wanted to have somebody to talk about. And if we jump back like a couple months before that, we both met at FarCon, the very first FarCon. There were 70 people in a room in Boston. It was tiny, but you had people like Rish there from Nanar and Dan from Farcaster, and listening to some of these folks talk about what they were building just made me so bullish and so excited and feeling like I just wanted to contribute to the ecosystem. So this was how I could do that because I couldn't build things. So I wasn't a software engineer. And I don't start with me. She's like, yeah, you can. No, I just tried to build a mini app last week and it was interesting. So this is our way of like contributing. I've done media for a long time. I did some media within the Web3 space as well while I was teaching. So we did this sort of part-time, 3 times a week. We started and it was 21 minutes and literally we would stick to that, like, because it wasn't that much to talk about. Then we're like, okay, let's move it up to 29 minutes. And now we blow past that every single show. But the idea is that we're highlighting what's happening on the network, what's happening on the protocol, as well as what people are building. And it just turns out, it's built on optimism, but a lot of people build on base. So it had this sort of natural connection where we just end up focusing a lot on people who are building on base because of just the way that those two things have fit together. And now you see with the base app, sort of that full circle of, now Farcaster is built into the base app. So it's kind of all goes together. And we've had pretty much everybody on who's building something on base, including Chuck. We had him on, I don't know, like within the first week of the launch of Farcade, something like that. And we've had Jesse on a few times. We've had Yasik on from DGen, Dan, obviously a number of times, NB, and all pretty much like most of the builders who are building something on Farcaster, we've had them on to talk about what they're building. So it's been a ride. It's been fun. We've also built a community around that where we have people who come every show who are in our chat. It's kind of changed over time. We've had different groups of people at different times, but we have this like core community. It helps them kind of also connect with other folks on Farcaster, and it helps make it sticky. So that's part of what we're doing. We also have a mini app that Adrian's built.
We're gonna talk about that.
We've got an agent. We've got a bot. You can ask questions to. We got all kinds of stuff.
I was blown away with that. We're gonna talk about that. But Adrian, talk to me about your journey as to, how did you link up with the Spanish professor? Like, were you as well were you in the media field beforehand as well, or what got you your juices creativity to be like, I want to interview dope guys?
No, look, my background is in software development. Never any professional stuff with media, but I do a ton of blogging and was very active on Twitter. So I'm not, just in the whole user generated content world. I just did a lot of my own. Prof and I met, like she said, at FarCon in what was that, May, June of 2023.
Yeah.
I think we were the only 2 women there. There might have been
there were 2 others.
3 or 4.
Yeah. We were the only 2 who spoke at like the event, who were on panels and stuff like that. Yeah. But it was a room full of bros. It was a total, it was a bro fest.
It was so but in those, early days on Farcaster, so there were like under 1,000 active people in any given week.
Yeah.
So
very small.
It really felt like, Bill, were you active back then?
No.
Okay.
I was just, to be honest with you, I was like a ghost. I only stuck with X, and I only started this media thing in June of 2024. That's when I joined Farcaster, and I had literally no idea what I was doing. And then I still don't know what I'm doing, but
I don't know. It looks like you're
doing fine. You're
not
doing
on
fine.
Farcaster. I'm just like, this seems cool.
Okay.
Tony Hawk, help me. I don't know, like. Cool guy, by shout out to Tony Hawk, who has been on the show many times.
We love Tony.
We love Tony.
That's my buddy, my brother from another mother.
But those early days though, it was like Farcaster felt like a small group chat.
Yeah.
It
Yeah.
was like it resembled Twitter, so it was kind of like it felt familiar, but it was just a really small group, and pretty much everybody you'd meet identified in some way or another as a builder. So a
Yeah.
lot of founders, a lot of developers, but like artists, writers, like everyone kind of was trying to build something. So just like really good vibes, and yeah, there was nothing on my bingo card that said I was going to start a media company ever. And even in the beginning, we didn't set out to say, hey, we want to start a media company. We
Yeah.
just wanted to talk about everything that was happening on Farcaster.
Yeah. Over a cup of coffee. That was the whole
Yeah.
concept.
So
Yeah.
right now your shows are Monday through Friday every day, or how often do you
No,
do it?
Monday, Wednesday, Friday, 3 times a week right now.
3 times a week, talking to the
Yeah.
most base builders on Farcaster. So tell me, so far, and by the way, that's incredible. Like I said, consistency is the name of the game when it comes to media. A lot of people quit really, really fast. And to be at how many shows have you guys done? 260? Was it?
268. Yeah, 268,
Amazing.
269's tomorrow. Another 69 moment. So there you go.
Wow. What has been the most? I want to ask each of you this important question. What has been the most memorable, maybe guest or experience that you've had on your show? And you can't say Jesse Pollock, anyone
Okay.
but him. That's an easy one.
I have to say, for me, it's going to be the second FarCon, because we did a live podcast with DWR, Dan Romero, and Varun. It's the only time they've done a podcast together. And it was
Wow.
live with, we had like a couple hundred people there live watching us while we were recording it and streaming it. And that was pretty epic for me. Like, that felt like a big moment. What would you say, Adrian?
That was the one I was going to say. It was also our 100th episode.
It was our 100th
Oh,
episode.
Right?
wow.
Because starting out, I mean, even in
It
the
was
beginning, like
iconic.
every
Yeah.
milestone we would celebrate, because it was like, are we still doing this? I can't believe we got
Yeah.
to 100.
Yeah.
And
That one was
yeah, we
definitely
did that.
special. Yeah.
For our 1 year, we did a 24-hour stream.
Wow.
Yeah, that was a bad idea.
I don't know why we decided to do that. It was my idea.
You
and-
decided. You're like, let's do this. I'm like, I have done 24-hour streams before. This is a bad idea.
and I had never done one, which is why I thought it would be a good idea. Won't do it again. Don't recommend
It's
it.
not a good idea.
Sounds tough. Sounds like a lot
was
of coffee
fun.
you need.
It was fun, but it was a lot. Like, we really didn't need to do that, but it was funny. But those are probably the ones that really stick out. But I also, like, I was watching the base event,
Yeah.
the New Day one, and I'm watching the people who are speaking, and all but maybe 2 we've had on the show very, very early. Like, very early on. And it was like, wow, that's really cool to see that we've had that opportunity to kind of get people right when they were very early building something, talk to them, and help them, find their first 1,000 users or whatever. So that, to me, we've seen that over and over again happen. And that, to me, has been very, fulfilling. It's been a big, big part of this. So that's been fun too.
It's incredible. It's incredible to see a lot of their journeys. I want to get into your guys' thoughts as to the base wallet and, obviously how it's integrating to Farcaster. So with that in mind, you've been focused on Farcaster. You've seen it really since its inception. It has gone growing more and more and more. I mean, I got in late, quote unquote, June of 2024, and even for
Still
this
early.
year, it's still early.
Still early.
Now that base is in play, the base app is integrating Farcaster. Tell me, ladies, how does it make you feel? Like, where do you think the future of Farcaster is going now that it has this distribution vehicle of base's wallet? Like, what are your thoughts?
Up only. I think it's going to be really interesting because what the other thing that's happening right now is Farcaster's social graph is getting integrated into other apps and other wallets. So you have it, beyond the base app, you also have it coming to Zapper. You also have these other clients that are launching that are adding it in, like Cura, which is a smaller one that's focused on channels. You have the DGen app client that's going to launch in like September or something like that. So they're all taking little different focuses, but they're all putting the social graph into play, which becomes a very interesting approach where, people right now who are new to signing up to the base app have no idea that like their posts are also being seen on the Farcaster app. And that's been a little confusing. But when you think about it, that's an amazing really cool thing that you can be in one front end, I can be in a different front end, and we're both sharing our content together, but we're just receiving it in different ways. And I think that's a huge unlock for a number of reasons. And a lot of things, the way I think about this, think about how many people you know who have been, deplatformed from
Yeah.
Twitter, whether accidentally, on purpose, whatever. It's happened so many times. It's happened recently to a whole bunch of folks we know from Pump Fund and other crypto businesses who were recently deplatformed. Having this protocol in the background protects you from losing everything you've built and being able to jump into another client and having that true decentralization. I think that's, super important, but also how much you unlock within something that's built on crypto. And watching right now people experiment in the base app with group chats where they can add agents and drop tokens. And I'm in one group chat and Shane Mack is in there, who's from XMTP. And he just dropped everybody in the group chat $5. All of a sudden I look at my wallet, I'm
Wow.
like, why do I have money? And then I'm like, oh, okay. Because
By
this
the way,
group chat
Shane
started
loves
dropping me
giving-
money.
Shane loves giving money away.
I need to meet this guy. Hello, Shane.
It's,
I'm Bill.
it's his MO. I don't know why. He's
Hi,
always
Bill.
trying to
Hi,
give away
Bill.
money.
Bill would like to be added to one of these group chats.
Please. Hello, if you need a new friend.
Hello. So, and watching that sort of play out has been, it's, I think you're going to see more of that. So you've got your social graph that can travel with you.
Mhm.
You've got these AI agents that can do really cool things like Banker, and another one, Flaunch, I think it was, where we
Yeah.
launched a token right within the group chat, like crazy. So all these pieces of the puzzles, all these Lego blocks that the protocol has been building for a very long time are starting to come into play. And you see things like mini apps. You see something like Farcade/Remix being able to find its first 1,000 users and then 10,000 and then blow up. And that's exciting. To me, Farcaster has been the best incubator in crypto that most people don't even know about until they do. So it's been really fun to kind of be there on the ground floor and watch all these things come to life.
Mhm.
And now you're just going to see that get 10x to 100x, 1,000x by bringing Coinbase, into the mix and having the base app be this platform that's going to bring millions. So to me, that's really, really exciting.
I think it's super exciting, and actually one of the things that really what I'm very much bullish on is the distribution aspect. And the base wallet is going to allow people to discover different apps, different builders in a way that's just not imaginable, whether it was just Farcaster alone or even Twitter, to be honest.
Yeah.
And one of the ways to do that is through this app. So let's talk about this app. Adrian, I saw that, first of all, in the base app, for those that don't know, or the base wallet, or it's the base app, yeah, there's different categories you can choose, and one of them is news. And I clicked on news, and I saw you guys, which was just phenomenal to see. So tell me about this mini app that you created. First of all, I love it. I think it's fantastic. I think more media people need to do it, and I think you're onto something. So tell me, Adrian, what was going on when you created this mini app?
All right, Bill, let's get you on. Let's get a late night on base mini
I,
app.
I would love that. How do we make that happen? I think
We'll talk after the show. We'll close the repo and
we're going to talk, because I think this is phenomenal, and I think this is how people get the 1 to 2 billion users coming on chain. They need information. They need to know where the news is, and through hopefully me, that's where it is. So tell me, how did this idea come from, and what have you seen so far as a result of this?
Yeah, the mini app's interesting. And, just to kind of chat media in general, when we first started out, we talk about being on chain first. And it was really important to us that everything we were doing is we were using some of the new tools. We wanted to be on chain native to any of the Farcaster tools, anything that was, we prioritized base, but we were using Unlonely to stream. We were putting episodes as NFTs on Zora. We had our audience on Farcaster, but you also, as a media company, you have to be where people are.
Sure.
And we were using some newer streaming platforms that weren't always as reliable as YouTube. We weren't even on YouTube for the first 4 months. And we had lovely, loyal audience, but they'd be like, it's glitchy. They'd complain. So, eventually we added YouTube. We added RSS feeds to go on kind of all the podcast platforms. But as much as you can monetize directly and kind of with crypto, you have all different ways to connect directly with an audience. You're still playing the game of like trying to capture attention.
For sure.
And you got to make it easy for people to find you. So we are all over the place. One of the things we kind of hear about too is like, listen, if people are spending time in Farcaster, scrolling, are they going to leave to go watch our show on YouTube? Maybe if they think about it, if they know it, but how do we, the ideas of the mini apps is they live inside of Farcaster or the base app. So you can use these apps without leaving the app that you're in. So the idea for the mini app is really just letting people watch our show while they're in whatever native app they're already scrolling in.
I think it's phenomenal. I mean, a brilliant idea. Did you make this with your skills?
I made it with my skills, with the help of my AI co-pilot.
Wow.
It's not super difficult, but there's some weird things about the mini, like it's a mini app at the end of the day.
Don't let her fool you. It's harder than you think.
Oh,
it's
I
harder
bet it
than
is.
you think.
I
But you
tried
should
vibe
still
coding
try.
something. I tried vibe coding something like 2 weeks ago, and I couldn't even like deploy it on Versal. I was like, I don't know what I'm doing. I'm just like, I'm a guy who speaks.
I feel you.
Okay, I spent 3 hours today trying to like clear the cache of the thumbnail image, and it wasn't working. So it's not. It's difficult.
There's little things.
But the beauty of the mini app as well is people can add the mini app, and once they can favorite it, and once they do that, you can send them in-app notifications. So every time we go live,
thing. Yeah, that was a big thing that I wanted. I wanted people to get a notification when we were live, similar to what happens on Twitter when you go live on Twitter.
Yeah.
But there was no way to do that on Farcaster. So that was a big piece of this, is when they do add that app in either place, they will get that notification. Right now, I think notifications aren't working on the base app yet, but that is coming soon.
Yeah.
So right
the
now,
base app's still in beta.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
So they're not
working out the kinks.
But the idea that mini app is a standard. So it's not something as a developer that you're supposed to have to customize for every Farcaster or every client that integrates with Farcaster. If you follow the standard, the client should just adopt it. So it should be working in the base app as well once they add support for it.
So right now, and by the way, we have shout out to the 750 people tuning in live. Hopefully you're enjoying something. Hopefully you're enjoying this convo. So the way it works is when you guys go live, and when the notifications work, for instance, they get pinged, and then you can watch your stream, say on YouTube, directly on Farcaster through this mini app.
Yes.
Yep.
This is a gold run.
Exactly.
Adrian, we're gonna be chatting. I mean, I'll be opening up my wallet to be like, Late Night on Base needs to have a late night show. Together, you dominate the mornings, I dominate the evenings, and we'll like
Perfect,
be like,
right?
you guys will always be number one. I want to make sure you're number one, and then I can be like 5. Like I'll be happy on rank 5, 7. That's fine too. Top
You
10.
can have the PM hours, Bill. We'll take the AM.
Hey, amazing. No, but that's
and the beauty
really
also. But because, if you're watching, we added buttons, and I'm now critiquing my app and want to change the UI, but you can click, it's the whole network effect. So you're watching your show, you want to get your friends, you click cast that you're watching, that opens up a cast composer.
so
And
cool.
basically you can now cast and send out your friends, hey, everyone, join me. This is what I'm watching. And then that'll go to the feed. So you really get the network effects. And we're seeing that kind of help bring new audience to our show.
Can you also
yeah.
like watch replays of your old shows on this, or is there a way to
This
like
is
see
a
it?
replay, yeah.
Yeah. Right
Or this
now, if
one
we're
is,
not
so-
live, you're seeing the most recent one.
Yeah.
Yeah. If we're live, you see the live. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
And if you click into the embed, so you can watch it. If you click into the YouTube video, like
Here?
in the mini app,
Oh, in the minute. That was
like that'll just
Wow,
start
that's
playing.
amazing.
So I already went live.
Game changer. Seriously, this is a game changer. Like this to me is like, you want to make sure that you retain viewers, right? But if you start making them go to different apps and
Right.
leave the site that they're on, chances are you're going to lose a lot of people along the way. That's actually one of the real reasons, or one of the things. So I assume you guys are very familiar with pods. You guys are probably one of the top people on pods.
Yep.
But the whole cool thing about
we were a couple days ago. I don't know if we're still number one, but
Oh,
we tend to dominate the trending. I will just say that we
oh
often
man.
it's not unusual to see 5 episodes of ours like in
I
that
mean,
top
every
10.
time I'm there, I had Lucas on the other day, and I was just like, man, these ladies are just like dominating. Like, how, like teach me their secret sauce. There's produce good content. I was like, yeah, probably. No,
That's
but
hardly it.
one of the things though that I did like about pods though is when you're able to put the episode on Farcaster, you don't have to leave, and you can like
Exactly.
watch it, and you can even mint it, and that's just the way it's supposed to be. And I think that's the future of things. And by the way, we will be putting this episode, both Chuck and you guys, we're going to split it up into 2 separate episodes, so it's not only a live stream, but it will be a podcast as well, because we want to make sure we reach
Awesome.
more people. But yeah, I think that's incredible. And so Adrian, I definitely want to chat with you about, I mean, when I saw that, I was just like, this is brilliant. Like, this is kind of like how things are going to be to get discovered. And I have no doubt you guys are going to continue to crush. Like I said, you number 1, I'm 7, I'm good. But
And
but
we'll do a little promo when this one comes out too.
Ooh,
So we'll help you.
let's
We'll help
go.
you get some folks.
let's go.
minting.
Let's go. Okay, so before we wrap things up, and by the way, now we have over 1,200. We made it over 1,000. Like I said,
All
I don't know if
right.
you, I don't know if
That's
you
your
guys are-
goal. I know that's your
Well,
big goal. I love
yeah,
that.
because otherwise my mom will think I'm a disappointment, and I can't have her thinking I'm a disappointment. I literally, in real life, I was a lawyer, and I decided to scrap that to just
Oh,
talk
you're kidding.
media.
Same.
Yeah.
Same.
Oh, you
I am
same?
also. So
Yeah,
here
so I
it's the crew of former lawyers who've become
Fist bump.
podcast hosts. There you go.
Fist bump.
Fist
Adrian,
bump.
were you a former lawyer too? Because we can then just party.
I was so far, whatever lawyer, like I was so far from a lawyer. So no.
You're not missing out on anything. But no, so okay, but the last thing though I do want to say is, on a more serious note, one of the things that I like to do on my show is not just talk about the fun and the projects, but the people behind it and the journey, because it's very difficult. And to do what you guys are doing on a consistent basis, first of all, is admirable. But second of all, I really want to know, where this passion comes from, because you guys don't have to be doing this, but you choose to 3 times a week, consistently, over 260 episodes. So let's start with you, Nanish Professor. What makes you so passionate about building or interviewing some of the most base builders in Web3?
I think I'm just really passionate about Web3 in general, and then finding Farcaster and realizing sort of the talent that was there, and that there were just people building really cool stuff. I wanted to just help them share that and be able to bring more people in who want to learn more. It's really, like, to me, has been one of the most incredible incubators, and watching all of that happen has just been something I wanted to amplify. So that's kind of, and I think if you go deeper into this, it gets into like a whole history of like dislike of institutions and all the usual crypto stuff, but just finding, how can I help move this forward? And this is how I can. So this is why I'm doing, sort of my part to do this. We also have sponsors. So we went from doing this part-time to doing this full-time. So left my full-time teaching job, still teaching 1 class this semester, but that's it, to do this full-time, because I wanted to put more effort into it. And I don't see that changing anytime soon. I feel like we're just sort of hitting the runway right now where things are going to start taking off. And it's exciting. It's exciting to be a part of it. It's exciting to be like sort of on the ground floor. It's like, I remember being at that first FarCon and calling it, this must have been what it feels like to be in the Google dorm room, to be like, to see things like happening so early on. And that to me is just, you're not going to find that anywhere else. So that's why I just keep coming back. There's always something to talk about. It's a lot of fun. And also I have like the most amazing co-founder and co-host. So it makes it very easy. Like, I just want to like hang out and talk with her. So that's why it's so easy. And we just have like a very easy flow that makes it very enjoyable. So that's the other reason.
And what about you, Adrian?
We actually like just have so much fun doing it. It makes it really
fun.
easy. I casted this, and I think you saw it, but
yeah,
our YouTube channel, and just go to our videos and look at the thumbnails. All you see is just like us cracking up.
Like, we're just laughing. Yeah.
It's just like there's so much happening on like in this world that it's just fun to talk about. So we have a lot of fun. Doesn't mean it's not difficult at times to.
Yeah.
I think the consistency gets tough of like the week after week, but I don't have that. I feel very similar to what Prof said in terms of like why I'm doing it. She said a healthy distrust of institutions. I've learned. I also share that, but what I like to say is it's. I think I just believe that there's always like just kind of like better ways to do things, and technology
Optimism.
is the way.
Mhm. Yeah.
And it felt like Farcaster solving a problem that is worth solving. So in terms of like we spend collectively so much more of our time in digital spaces on the internet. And I'm saying we, just kind of everyday people, are creating all of the content on the internet. Like this is the whole user generated web, and platforms have all the power, and they're capturing, whatever these take rates are over, 90x% of all of the value. So it just feels like it is worth it to take back that power and give it to people, and kind of away from platforms towards people. And I just think kind of self-sovereignty from like an identity perspective is really important and worth fighting for. So it's like you choose to invest where, like I'm choosing to invest my time on Farcaster because I think it's solving an important problem.
Well, I think you guys need to be commended for not only consistency, but what you're doing in the space. It's very, very important. If I tell people all the time, if Base wants to target 1 to 2 billion users coming on chain, they need to know what's being built. They need to know the people behind the projects. And most importantly, the projects need to have amplification to these people. Otherwise, it just becomes a circle jerk of people and it doesn't grow. So what you guys are doing is not only admirable, but very, very critically important. And you guys are absolutely crushing it. Truly, ladies, it's an honor to have you on the show. And I look forward to cooking together some more and chatting.
Yeah. Reach out and she'll help you with the app.
We are going to do that. So I do appreciate it. So ladies, thank you so much for coming on the show.
Thank you. Thanks so much. It's been great. It's been a lot of fun.
Cheers. All right, that was the ladies from GM Farcaster. Wow, that was great. 2,100 people tuned in. We guys smashed that goal. Honestly, if I could buy stock in GM Farcaster, ladies, I would, because I know they've already cemented themselves as the #1 media people on Farcaster by far, and it's only going to continue to grow. So if you guys have any leverage options of where I could to bet on them, I'd be down. Leverage long. Anyways, that's it, guys. I'm Bill. 2,300 tuned in. Appreciate each and every one of you. We do this every Tuesday. The Road to Onchain Summit next week. We don't have a guest yet, but we probably will, because that's what we do. Hopefully, Base greenlights me for 20 more episodes for Farcaster Base mini app developers. Out of my hands, though. But Jesse Pollock, Zen, if you're listening, give the people what they want. Let's do some more. All right, everyone. Name's Bill. Enjoy the rest of your day, and let's hope for number go up so we all make a lot of money. Cheers.